Good afternoon and welcome to the FX Daily Roundup. And we are seeing the euro continue to push higher. We're coming to a range or a level here. Let's go and pull this up. We've been looking at, and actually I think our bias chart resistance was right there. 1075 here. So you can see we've come up to this 1075. We're actually just above it. And 1083 is at 38%. Now, what's important here is let's take a look. You can see here the dollar index is under pressure here. Let's go and take a look at this. I was mentioning to the guys in the room is that my overall target, or not, I mean just short term, is this 97.89. This is that huge level that comes back. This is, I'm looking at the daily chart right now. You can see this is where the dollar index kept, coming up a little bit short against this 97.89. Another time we got above it, and you can see here we had a nice gravestone doji. We saw the market slide right below it. We challenge it again. We can't close above it. We challenge again. We lose it. We challenge again. We lose it. And so many times we were thinking that we were going to see the dollar index, fall from there, from this huge 97.89 area here. And so when we got above it, that really opened the door and hit some stops here. This was back in July. And then lo and behold, we lost it again. We get above it. This 97.89 has been a huge level. Basically, at one point, I think we had it marked as a pivot. And you can see here is as they rallied up to well above 99, almost 99.50, when they eventually came back down, where did they find support? 97.89. We rallied all the way back to 99. We fell back in here, and looks like that's where we're going, 97.89 here. Potentially we'll do it today. And you can see here that the euro, we take a look at this. The euro has already come up here and tagged the 38% right here at 1083. Right there. You see that? 1084. And now we talked about this. One of the leading reasons why this has been, because we talked about this earlier last week, has been the bunds. And the bunds, the fall in yields are what drove the euro lower. But the data out of Germany has continued to be weak. Although now we've seen the bunds turn things, around and started sliding back, and we'll go and take a quick look there. And if you remember, early last week, this is where we were at. Early last week, we were right here. And I said, watch out. If we break down here to this pink line, and if we get below it, forget it. And sure enough, at the time, the euro was trading at 980, and we're looking for potentially the euro to close better on the week by the time we got to Friday. And sure enough, that's what happened. And we've seen the bunds continue to come lower. Now we've come into a little bit of a nice little support area here. We're just below it, so we'll see what happens. We're trying to hang on here. This is not a bad area where we might kind of make a stand here to try and hold in this area. And that may coincide with then the euro, and we'll go back to that. Taking a pause here against the 38%. Okay, not a huge pause. Maybe, we may see this thing come off about 40 pips or so, maybe just a little bit more. But this is a good area for them to go and take a pause. Don't forget the bunds have really come off quite a bit, so we might find a little bit of support here, and that may allow the euro to come back. Obviously, 1020 has been huge for it to hold. Not only was 1020 a key level, which we got above on Friday, we also broke this downtrend line here. So henceforth that. We're going to quickly move into the peso. We've been talking about the peso and how disappointing this was for bulls when we had lost 1944 on the way back. When we had fallen back here, the market had held the 1932, which also confluenced with the 61%. We saw a nice rally. We've talked about that already. We thought we'd hold around this 1960-ish area here. We rallied a little bit once we got, I think we dipped down to around low 50s. We got up to about 66, 65, and then also we rolled over. And once we lost 1944, we said, forget it. That's it. Over, done with. It's gone. We're going to 1923.6. Well, then that's what we've gone to. And we've also gone a little bit beyond that. Our bias chart support was for, I think it had been in place since yesterday, 1923, because that's the breakout area. And then just below that, the little bit of an overshoot, 1916. And today, this morning, we just got to hit the 1916 handle. I think the low's been 1916.7. If we get a daily close below 1923.6, then the door is open for a challenge to 1908. And that's been a key area here. But let's see what happens, see if we can make this hold here. Moving on. Well, as we see the dollar under pressure, we're going to move into the gold market. And we saw a nice move up here in the gold. I had taken a short. I didn't hang on for too long, but I had taken a short after we rallied, very strong rally off of these lows this morning. Just a huge rally, about $14. And we kind of hung around here, hung around. Finally, we started to break lower. I was looking for us to find, I didn't hang on that long, but for us to find support at 1486. And I'm talking about the spot, not the futures. But we did go in and see this continue to fall back. But we finally started sliding back. We started coming back, and not initially, because when the dollar was trading back, it wasn't really making that much of a difference. Now we're seeing this, and I mentioned in the chat room, hey, look, if the dollar does slide back towards 89, we can see this gold, pop and go to new highs potentially. If we drop to 97, 99, 89, it might spook the gold. We have rallied a little bit since then, about a couple of dollars, but we're in that little level here where we have some resistance here. You can see here some touches. So we're struggling a little bit, but if we do see that 97.89, it may just be enough to spark that and pop those stops just above. I mean, if you took that long, I would take maybe a little bit off the table and then see if you can let the rest ride. If we do see 97.89, I want to get short the euro if we do come down here at 97.89. I think that's a good value area. That's also confluencing with that 10.75 with the 10.83, which is a 38%. So we drop down there. I'm going to go in and take a short against that. Crude oil has been really tricky today. We've been all over the place here in crude oil. We'll come back in here. But what we have seen is, we've been going all up and down, up and down. I was saying, it looks like a fish flopping on the deck. But we've been grinding higher here, and potentially I think that here in the crude oil market, we're looking here, I think that we can make it up here to 53.97 before we see a more demonstrative pullback. And you can see coming in right there. You see all these little touches right here coming right across. Let's go move this here. I'm glad I haven't done anything with crude, because I just would have been doing everything the wrong way, so to speak. But you can see right here, 53.95, 97, right here. I think that the way that they've been grinding it, let's say someone steps in and says, I'll short it here. Another person says, well, I'll short it here. Another person says, well, I'll short it here. Another person says, I'll short it here. And I think we're just continuing to grind higher, and we're just clicking off stops. So this person that was short from down here, just saying as an example, well, if we get past this volume area, I'm out, okay? Person that stepped in and shorted against here, I thought it looked pretty good. You look here, it looked like we have some, almost like gravestone dojis almost, thinking, okay, now we're going to pull back. We'll probably pull back to around the low 53s. Well, we're moving higher. Person says, well, as long as we don't get a 5-minute close above 53.62, well, boom, he's out or she's out. Next person says, well, I'm shorting it against this area. Wow, they're a little bit underwater, so maybe they go, well, I'm going to ride it as far as I can. So to me, I'm thinking, where can they get to? I'm thinking right here, we see these touches right here. You see here, here, and here. That takes us to 53.95, 97. I think that we can come up here, and then that'll probably take out any stops. And anybody that's played from the long side would be a very good area to go in and take those profits and then see us go and pair back. Potentially back here to about 53.50s, but we shall see. So that's my take on that one. Let's go and move into cable. I'd be remiss not to mention that. This thing continues to just push higher. Now, I've got a short in here, and I'm actually looking at the 5-minute. I've got a short that I just put on just a while ago, and I've got a stop here, and I'm looking at the 5-minute. At 53.67, what am I talking about? I'm thinking, doggone it, talking about crude. At 28.67 here on a stop. And actually probably should even be a little bit higher, but look at that right here. There you go. Look at the 5-minute. You see right there. There you go. 28.67. I don't want that to close above 28.67 on a 5 minute close. It probably sounds like a little bit silly, but what I'm saying is I'm thinking we could go on and pair back. Lately, we've been doing that. Towards the end of the day, we go on and pair back. So if we, slide back down here to challenge, let's say 28, like the 28.30s or really, I'm realistically about 28.20s. This is where I'd like to go now. I'll just go in and get out for a little bit. Not anything great, unless for those that want to go and see if they want run it. To me, it's huge. This 28.26. We'll go and take a look at here. I'm just playing it for a little bit of a pullback. I think we're a little bit stretched. That being said, 28.26 is huge here, this level. If we were to pull it further back out here, you can see the touch is coming here. You see that? And may not be able to see it as clear, but it goes all the way back in here. You see that here? So if we get a 2-hour close above 28.26, that is not good. I mean, to me, 28.26 is like the Alamo stand. And last Alamo, and it surely doesn't look like it's going to hold out because we're only about 20 minutes away from the next 2-hour close. So I'm thinking we can go on and slide back a little bit from here. But if we close above 28.26, it really puts, to me, if I'm short, I probably would just say, I got to get out at that point. But I'm just playing it from a little 5-minute thing, see if we go in and dial back a little bit. Maybe we come down there, see what happens. I'll probably go and look to go in and cover. But that's the take on cable here. Euro still pushing a little bit higher. Cash dollar index, right, it slows at 97.93. We talked about the gold. The gold might pop up. Excuse me. If we go and see the dollar index going and fade a little bit lower.